What's up, crew? We are running errands right now. Yesterday's video was awesome. If you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, you should definitely go check it out. I went to Santa Cruz West, or CrossFit West, and worked out with one of the coaches at Extreme, Jason. His Instagram tag is JD Larson. I don't know if there's any numbers in there. There might be, but I'll leave it in the description. You should definitely go follow him. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, just Instagram. It was awesome to be able to get that much training done in a session, and I feel crushed right now. And then in that gym is a sweet space. Like, I definitely will go there again, depending on, you know, timing and schedules, and work out with Jason. And next time I will make sure to get really cool shots of the gym itself and sort of do like a box featurette, I guess you could say. But it's a really nice space, huge warehouse. They have it looked like about 50 yards of turf down, maybe a little bit less or more. They have a rig in the middle, rigs off to the side. They have a weightlifting section with probably technically four spaces to lift. Bumper plates from I don't know what Chad Vaughn uses or what brand his plates come from, but anyways, they're really nice plates. And of course, got my push jerk PR. Today's pretty boring, but you should still watch. And if you're new, you should definitely subscribe. So I'm headed over to PetSmart right now to get some cat food so that our evil cat can freaking eat. Right now he's eating some crap food that makes him barf. As usual, Sunday got a little busy and I didn't really pull the camera out much. Most of you probably expect that by now, those of you who are subscribers. Sundays are weird, and to be honest, I might stop trying to vlog much on Sundays. It'll just be pulling out the Motivation Monday, and might even do this more often where it's gonna also be Mobility Monday. Mobility is a huge part of any fitness regime, and I've been lacking in it for a long time. I'm actually paying for ROMWOD right now and I don't even use it, so I need to get on that, and I do want to start doing that again. Instead of filming all of it, I just did little clips here and there, and then I'm just going to explain what I did right now. Started with the foam roller. Just like you might have seen in a previous video that I did a while back, I have a specific routine I stick to. It makes me feel really good, whether I'm preparing for a workout or recovering from a full day of sessions. And I start with my upper back, just kind of decompressing. Now with all of these movements, I'm also adding range of motion. For this one in particular, I'm putting my arms over my head and reaching back as far as possible. This is gonna sort of release some of the tension that's in my shoulders, and I even feel releases in my triceps and biceps, because what you're doing is you're compressing the upper back muscles, which is then gonna translate through that chain up into your arms, which is amazing. Then I move on to my teres minor, because that's a hot spot for me. And with that range of motion, I just bend my elbow up and back, kind of bringing my hand behind my head and back down flat to the ground. And then I'll also lift with a straight arm. So that's using those muscles specifically, which will help release any tension or break up some adhesions. And then lastly, I go to my lats just for a little bit, because it is very tender. I don't do any range of motion here. There's not much. You can do the same thing that you're doing with the teres minor, lifting up your arm. That's sort of the action that you would use. The other one would be bringing your elbow down to your chest and then reaching up straight overhead, kind of mimicking a press. Then I go from there, I move down to the lower body. Immediately I go to the glutes. I add stretch to the glute by putting the side that I'm rolling, that foot onto my knee, and I continue to roll, and then use a little bit of range of motion by extending the leg all the way straight and then bringing it back, bent knee to the chest. You can also open it up like a wing, kind of like a butterfly stretch. Do both glutes. Then I move on to the hamstrings, IT band, quad. I kind of just spend 10 to 30 seconds per spot, just rolling top to bottom. And then the hamstring, can't really do range of motion, but if you go towards touching your toes, like you're trying to do a stretch before running, this is gonna lengthen the muscle and add to that foam rolling effect. For the IT band, not much range of motion. You can bend your knee, but really you're just trying to relax that ligament. And then the quad, you want to bend the knee, heel to butt, and then straighten your leg. What you'll notice is this will really get you. Like, quads are pretty touchy as it is with foam rolling, and then when you bend your leg and you add stretch to that muscle, it is a whole nother ball game. For me, I actually end up feeling a little bit of a ball up in my hamstring and a release, which is so good. I know that I've done something right if I get to that point. And then finally, we hit the calf, and for range of motion, you just kind of twirl your foot around and around. I get a lot of cracks out of my ankle, and then this is just using the muscles in the calf. And you want to make sure you're doing nice, good circles, not just up and down or side to side. You want to hit every bit of range of motion in that ankle. From the foam roller, I go ahead and hit the Voodoo Floss, which I'd like to touch on a little bit more than just what I did, but just to quickly go through, I always hit my calf, quad, and hip. And for each one of those, I just go through 5 squats, no matter where I'm positioned with the band, because each one of those positions is important to the squat. And then for the calf, I do those rolls again. For the quad, I'll do a quad stretch. I'll grab my ankle and just sort of sit there for a second. And then for the hip, I like to do hip openers. Open them and then close them. So stepping over a fence, back and forth for each leg. Rep count doesn't really matter. I go 5 to 10, depending on the amount of time I have to work on this. So the thing I wanted to talk about with Voodoo Floss is this is an amazing tool. And if you don't have at least one band, they look like this. You can get them on roguefitness.com. You can get them pretty much at any CrossFit online store, but it's just a band. Literally, you can actually go get an old bike tire that was punctured, cut it up, and wrap that around your muscles. It's the same effect as long as it's elastic, and it's rubber, you'll get the same effect. Ideally, you always want to wrap on top of skin. You don't want to go over clothing because that's going to remove one of the effects. So effect number 1 is compression. Obviously, when you wrap around a muscle, you're going to feel that tight compression, kind of like wearing a knee sleeve, cause them to go back to what they're naturally supposed to do, and that's glide over each other. Typically, soreness or tightness is due to fascia being adhered to each other. The soreness and tightness that you feel is that lack of movement. Muscles are supposed to, or fascia is supposed to glide over each other. So compressing that allows it to sort of move a little bit more and break up the adhesions. The second part that helps break up the adhesions, and the effect number 2 that you're looking for, is shear. So if you're not skin to skin, you're going to sort of miss this because you're going to end up having your clothes moving over your skin rather than your skin moving over your fascia. That shear is the same idea. So you're taking your skin and you're moving it like this over fascia, which then breaks up all those adhesions, reducing soreness. So that's what I wanted to cover with my mobility session. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you maybe learn a bit about some mobility techniques. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm always available to answer anything that I can answer. Because I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. I know some things because I worked for Rock Tape and went to a lot of the courses that involve movement and fascia. And then of course, I ended that session with some active stabilization work. So hip bridges to get my glutes activated. After you mobilize, you always want to stabilize. That's something else that I learned from Rock Tape. If you only mobilize, then you're going to just end up with a bunch of loose joints. If you stabilize afterwards, you then take those very mobile muscles and you put them back into the correct movement pattern, which is always good. With that said, Mobility Monday, first time. I'll try to keep it going. Let's move on to Motivational Monday. I'm going to try to keep it short because I just spoke for 10 minutes and I don't know how I'm going to cut this video in less than 12 minutes unless I can only do Motivational Monday for like 2 minutes. So here we go. Here are 3 tips to help make 2017 your Hey, I'm saying best. Jeez. To make 2017 your best year ever. So, starting with number 1, don't create resolutions. Resolutions are way too simple for how complicated life is. Create goals with milestones. For example, if you want to lose weight, set the milestone for what you're going to weigh on what month. I want to weigh, so for example for me, my number 3 resolution is to weigh 265 by February of 2017 and weigh 250 by March of 2017. I could complete that sooner than that and I'll just bring down the timeline, but those are achievable goals. You want to keep them also realistic. So don't set yourself up for failure by saying I'm going to lose 10 to 20 pounds per month, because that's 1, unhealthy, and 2, very, 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 very hard unless you go to the doctor and they... Number 2, write them down and create a social accountability net. Tell people about it. So there's something so official about writing down your goals. It causes something in the brain to just remember and continue to fight for those goals. And telling other people means showing up to the gym and them saying, hey John, how's your weight loss going? And I go, I had a donut this morning. So you're less likely to cheat or go off the rails if other people know what you're doing. With that said, take a picture of your goals, hashtag bigmansyndrome, tag me in the description, and I don't know, maybe I'll feature you on my explosively large vlog. And number 3, start now. Don't wait until 2017. There's absolutely no reason to wait until next year. It's a year away. So take a moment now, write them down, and get ready. If your goal is to eat clean for 2017, or set the goal to go Whole30 for a month. That is an amazing goal. There's an awesome resource which I will try to find and link in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this Motivational Monday. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, slap that like button. If you'd like to file a complaint or send some positive vibes, leave a comment. And till tomorrow, I will see you later. Karoo. Fist bumps. You know, I got a little animated on that one. Hope I don't come off as a jerk. But yeah, that was a total of 6 minutes, which means that's 16 minutes with the mobility stuff. And I shot something this morning in the car, so editing is gonna be a pain in the you-know-what. Good night, everybody. Woo!